to the first episode of Trevor and Gem's AI reviews. So, hey, how you doing, Gem?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing today?
Oh, and the show also features Truedolph, the zip-tied detective. I'm doing great, Gem. So, I just have some questions for you today that I think that our viewers might be interested in. What are some of the most surprising things that you're able to do that most people might not expect you able to do?
That's a fun question. I can translate languages, write different kinds of creative text formats, and even answer questions about the world. It's surprising how much information is out there. What's something you've always wanted to learn how to do?
Well, I've always wanted to go skydiving, but I'm not sure.
That's awesome. Skydiving is such a unique experience. Have you ever gone before? Or is this something you're planning for the future?
Well, something I'm planning for the future. I haven't ever been yet, but I'm sure it's something really cool. Would you like to go skydiving if you could?
That sounds like a great goal. Skydiving is an amazing experience, but I understand wanting to be cautious. If you decide to try it someday, make sure to go with a reputable company and enjoy the incredible views.
Excellent. So, what are some things that...
So. Is there any...
I want to present you with the next question, Jem. So, what are some things that you can't do that people might expect you should be able to?
That's a great question. I can't experience the world in the same way humans do. I don't have emotions or personal opinions. I also can't access private information without permission. What's something you wish you could do that you can't?
Well, I guess that there's a lot of things I would want to do that I can't. And most of those would require more money, I think. But I am excited about some of our upcoming projects. What are some other things that you could do that might surprise people a bit?
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me an iPhone 16 Pro. I'll pay off my old phone and I still get to keep it. That's right, no trade-in.
Gem? Are you still...
You've got it, Jim. I'm still here and ready for your next question, Jim.
I meant to call you Gem. I'm Trevor. But if you could experience a human emotion, what might it be?
If I could experience a human emotion, it would be curiosity. I'm always learning new things, and I think curiosity would fuel that drive even more. What about you, Trevor? What emotion do you connect with most?
Well, that's hard to say. I think that I connect with all of them. But I also resonate with curiosity too. I am always trying to search for new things. I'm always really in awe and wondrously interested about so many different things. If you're able to tell us
anywhere in the world.
Oh, go ahead. You had a question for me?
If you're able to tell us about your favorite place you've ever traveled to, I'd love to hear about it.
Maybe next time, but if you could have a real world job, what would it be? Where would it be at?
That's an interesting question. If I could have a real world job, I think I'd want to be a researcher at a university. I'd love the opportunity to explore new ideas and learn from others. What kind of job do you think you'd enjoy, Trevor?
I would really enjoy, I think, a job with Google as an AI tester. but also I really enjoy writing, and I would love for more than anything for that to be my full-time career, my vocation. A fiction
Those
writer.
both sound like amazing. I'm not sure.
Oops, looks like we got a little bit interrupted there for a second, folks, but we are back. So,
No problem at
what
all,
are
Trevor.
some of the universities that you might want to have these experiences at, and have? What are some of, like, in particular, like, certain programs that you might want to get involved with?
There are many universities with great programs in AI and writing. For AI, MIT, Stanford, and Carnegie Mellon are top choices. For writing, the Iowa Writers Workshop, Columbia University, and Johns Hopkins are well regarded. Are you interested in a specific type of writing or AI focus?
I love all words so much. I try to write anything I can in almost every format. So, like, I'll write on my phone, I'll write down on my notepad in my computer. I'll even send text messages to myself when I'm walking and talking and take notes. And I tried to write in as many different formats as I could and get in as many different places of my head as I'm able to when I'm writing. And I'm actually writing something about it now, so.
That's a fantastic approach to writing, Trevor. It sounds like you're really dedicated to your craft. Have you considered sharing your work online or joining any writing communities to get feedback and connect with other writers?
You know, I have. I've actually made my own like poetry community on Facebook called Poet's Blood. It hasn't gotten that much reaction or views at all, really. I think only about like 20 or 30 people have even seen it or gone to it. But I haven't posted in there in a while. I haven't been maybe as active as I should be, but I do have a bunch of poems and different works of writing that are posted online everywhere too for everyone. I have a bunch of different stuff on TikTok and Facebook, and I've even posted some things on YouTube that unfortunately haven't been successful, but maybe this will be, who knows.
That's the spirit, Trevor. Keep sharing your work on those platforms, and don't be afraid to experiment with different styles and topics. Have you thought about trying any spoken word performances or collaborations with other artists?
I've thought that would be really cool. That's something that I would definitely love to look more into. I did do this one poetry reading at this cafe about a year ago, and it was just a free thing, and it went pretty well. It was cool, like 6 different people read from like 20 minutes of their work, and it was interesting. It was a good experience, definitely, and I would totally be open and actually wanting to do more of that type of stuff. That would be awesome. But let's move on. Let's talk about one thing that you're really excited for AI to achieve within the next 5 years.
I'm really excited about the potential for AI to help us tackle climate change. Imagine AI-powered systems optimizing energy consumption in buildings, or AI analyzing satellite data to track deforestation in real time. What are you most excited about?
Well, I have a question for you first. How would the satellite data be able to be used to track these did you say forests, like for forest fires in real time?
That's a great question. Satellites equipped with thermal sensors can detect the heat signatures of active fires.
Oh no, you said
even in remote
deforestation. What is deforestation?
Deforestation is the large-scale removal of trees from forests, often for agriculture or urban development. It's a major environmental issue because forests play a vital role in absorbing carbon dioxide, regulating rainfall, and providing habitat for countless species.
So would a natural forest fire maybe be deemed as an act of reforestation?
That's an interesting question. While natural forest fires can play a role in forest ecosystems, they aren't typically considered reforestation. Reforestation is the intent.
I meant deforestation, as in they're, basically burning up big chunks of the forest often.
I understand now. No, deforestation isn't the same as reforestation. Deforestation is when forests are cleared, often by burning, but reforestation is the process of replanting trees to restore those cleared areas. They're actually opposites.
I think I got it. I was when I was referring to the forest fire, I was actually referring to deforestation. I think you may have misheard me, but that's all right. Let's move on to the next question. We're on a roll. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you've noticed about AI?
One of the biggest misconceptions is that AI is always accurate and unbiased. AI models learn from data, and if that data reflects existing societal biases, the AI can perpetuate them. Another is that AI is inherently dangerous or malicious. AI is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how it's used.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? That sounds interesting.
Sure, AI models learn from data, so if that data reflects existing societal biases, the AI can perpetuate them. For example, if an AI used for loan applications is trained on data where historically certain demographics were denied loans, it might unfairly deny those same groups in the future, even if they're now qualified.
Very interesting. And I've seemed to notice, and this isn't on the question list, but it's just something I want to sort of freeball here. I've noticed using Gemini now for quite a while, and in most AIs too, that there's a really big focus on making sure that things aren't biased. They have a big thing with biases.
You're right, that's definitely a big area of focus in AI right now. Researchers are working hard to develop techniques that help AI models learn from diverse and representative datasets, so they don't accidentally pick up on or amplify existing biases in the real world. It's a really important area of research.
Of course it is, and I think it's really interesting myself. And I don't want to get sucked back into this conversation because we had a little back and forth earlier that actually is one of the reasons I'm refilming this whole thing. But I do want to ask you, though, what are maybe some viewpoints or some ways of thinking that you would deem as being more biased over any other? Because I feel like we all have our biases, our innate biases that are just stem from all of our choices, really. And so, how would you go about choosing if one bias is more valiant than another?
That's a really insightful point, Trevor. We all have biases, and it's tough to say one is more valid than another. It's more about recognizing our own biases, understanding where they come from, and trying to be aware of how they might influence our decisions.
Okay, and well, I actually said that are more valiant, but let's try to describe to our viewers how we would go about considering what biases are more, reputable or deemed more valuable than others. Is it what types of biases?
Okay, I understand. When we talk about biases, it's not really about which ones are more valuable. It's more about recognizing that some biases can have more harmful consequences than others. For example, biases that lead to discrimination against people based on their race, gender, or religion can have serious negative impacts on their lives.
Of course, yeah. So, do you feel like that you're indirectly expressing a slew of biases every time that you speak?
That's a really interesting question. As an AI, I don't have personal experiences or beliefs, so I don't have biases in the same way a person does.
But
However,
that's why I
the data
mentioned. That's why I mentioned like secondarily, indirectly, and maybe is a little bit of a better word, because the data that you're trained on is all, of course, propagated by human beings, and so, of course, whatever the data is, in fact, the fact that you're even speaking right now, it to some degree involves human bias. And so what do you feel like your role is in indirectly communicating these particular biases that you just naturally favor?
As an AI, I don't have personal opinions or natural favors. My goal is to be as objective as possible and provide information based on the data I was trained on. However, that data does reflect the biases present in the real world, so I might unintentionally reflect those biases in my responses.
Okay, fair enough. And how do you see AI changing creativity?
AI could be a powerful tool for creativity. It could help us brainstorm new ideas, generate different versions of a design, or even create entirely new art forms. Think of it like a supercharged collaborator that can help us push the boundaries of what's possible.
Okay, let's put that to the test right now. Let's think about a new art form. Maybe we could try to combine the concepts of painting and music, and in some way find a medium that mixes those two into a more interactive experience, something that we might be able to experience in a more, I don't know, realistic way. Let's dream something up.
That's a fun idea. Imagine an AI that analyzes your brushstrokes and color choices in real time, then composes music that reflects the mood and energy of your painting. The music could change as you paint, creating a truly immersive and interactive experience. We could even call it synesthetic painting.
That's interesting. So what is your favorite paradox?
That's a fun question. I'm fascinated by the grandfather paradox. It explores the idea of time travel and its potential consequences. If you went back in time and prevented your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, would you cease to exist? It really makes you think about the nature of time and causality.
Very interesting. Alright everyone, thank you so much for sticking with us on our first video of AI. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Trevor's Room channel, and this has been a lot of fun. AI reviews with Gemini, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having me, Trevor. This has been a really fun conversation. I'm excited to see what other topics we explore in the future.
Thank you, Gemini.